Okay, let's have you go ahead and lay down, face up, boca arriba.
Boca arriba.
Okay. And then we'll see if we can find any bones that might be out of place. We'll use the lotion to help make the fingers more sensitive. And you might feel a little bit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you're feeling right there also is that each square vertebra has a little bone that sticks out on the side called a transverse process. And if the vertebra moves this way, or the vertebra moves that way, that transverse process is a little closer to the surface. And they're very sensitive. They don't like to be pushed on. And so when I find it and push on, you go, ooh, ooh, that's a little tender there. And it helps to let me know where the neck might be out of place. Now there's varying degrees. Sometimes it's sticking out real far. You actually think you could play ring toss on it. But then sometimes it's just a little bit. And it's the degree of how far out that bone is that makes a difference in not only how you feel as far as stiffness and moving your head, but some people get a brachial plexus syndrome where they get numbness going down the arm or weakness in the arm. And, so we just want to find it and fix it.
Yeah, my lower back is like killing me right now.
Your lower back is what bothers you the most?
Yeah.
He's had a
always it's like, but now I've been doing a lot of hard work, and now it's like paying the price now.
Yeah, so you got more right there. Can you feel that one?
Yeah, oof, yes.
It's probably sticking out a little more on this side. And a lot of times when I'm examining a patient, when I ask them to look to the right, look to the left, the side that they cannot turn their head as far is the side where the bones are sticking out the most. It acts like a doorstop to keep from turning their head as far in that direction. And you know, not all chiropractors will do this. I like to rub this cream in because it has kind of an analgesic effect. It also loosens the muscles up before I put the bones back into place. Sometimes I will adjust the neck with you laying down just like this, and other times I adjust the neck with you sitting up. And this time I'm going to adjust the neck with you sitting up. So let's go ahead and have you sit on up here. Let me help you up. Okay, and then just turn sideways there. And we're going to go this way first, so we just want to relax. I want you to turn your head toward me. Look up, look down, look back, look forward. Drop your head this way. That's it. Nice. There we go. All right. Okay, then drop your head that way. That's it. Good. You have noisy bones. All right.
that's a good one.
Yeah. So now we're going to go boca abajo.
Boca abajo.
And of course, one of the things we do is we check your leg length and we see how you're walking around. And when you shoot straight down there like that, you can see that your right leg is just a little bit shorter than your left leg. And usually it's not because the long bone is short, but in our pelvis, here's our sacroiliac joint here, our leg pins in here, our femur head. This pelvic bone has rotated this way. When it rotates this way, it pulls the leg up short. So then when you stand up, you drop down on this side. Now, depending on how much that's rotated, some people have quite a bit of what they call a functional short leg. The long bone isn't short. It's usually due to a rotation, unless a person had polio or a bad fracture or a hip replacement, something like that. So the more this rotates, the more this drops down when you stand up. And some people, because they will have an open wedge in their vertebra, the disc will bulge out on the short leg side and hit the sciatic nerve, then they end up getting pain running down the leg. All right, so anyhow, we're going to rotate this pelvis back down, and this piece below you here jumps up, and then it drops down. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my hand on here, we're going to get underneath this thigh, we're going to rotate it up and push down. And rotate it up and push down. And then we'll see if it made any difference. Not a whole lot on you. And a little bit.
Yeah, it did see a little difference.
And I'm going to check the bones out in the middle of your back. And you've got one right here kind of going off to the right. And I could push straight in on you here and pop it that way. There's many different ways to move a bone. I'm going to pre-loosen it up because as we get middle age and past, sometimes those bones get a little bit stuck and we can be very tender. And I've got it's almost like a machine gun. It sounds like a 50 caliber machine gun. But it's going to be something that's going to go and just kind of pre-loosen it up a little bit. That's the one. We're just going to go in here. Yeah, it's too bad this didn't have batteries in it, but I could take it to the grocery store and see which watermelon is ripe. All right. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to take you up a little bit. And we're going to stretch your back open. Gravity's always pushing us down like this. And like when I get in my car in the morning, I turn my rear view mirror up. And when I get in my car at night, I have to turn it back down because gravity's made me shorter during the day. Our joints get jammed, and our joints and our spine are full of pain-sensitive nerves. So it's good to spread our back out a little bit. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to drop this tummy piece out, and I'm going to push a button here, and this table's going to rock up and down. People that have a bad disc, where they might have a herniated or bulging disc, when you pull the vertebra apart, it helps to suck the disc back into the center, and many times might be able to save them from having back surgery. This has a cooling fan. I have to let it cool for a little while before I turn it off. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take you down, and we're going to relax the spinal muscles a little bit more before we move some more bones. And like I say, I use this on the weekend to tenderize the carne asada.
Last time, I believe my dad enjoyed that machine a lot. You said you got it off of Amazon, right? Or what was it?
Which one? This one?
Was it that one?
Yeah, I got this one on Amazon. Yeah, it's funny too because in chiropractic, catalogs, I'll charge something like $250 for this, and I got this one here. They have a lot that look exactly like this on Amazon, but some of them are really cheaply made and only last a couple of weeks. This one particular brand I found here, it's like, I don't know, like $30, $29.95 or something like that. And this one here, I've had it over a year.
Really?
And it's just great. It has kind of a semi-soft feel instead of a hard plastic, and just works really well. I have a lot of patients that'll they'll take a picture of the brand name and Hang Sun. And I don't know, it's probably Chinese, of course, either Korean or something. But then they'll go on Amazon and buy it. All right, so now we're gonna go de lado. You're gonna turn onto your side and face me this way over here. Well, let me put the pin back in here. And let me make this come up for your head. And slide down this way because that headpiece can hurt your shoulder there. We're gonna bend this knee up. You're gonna put this hand on your side. And you're gonna put your hand out like this and carry the football. You're gonna be the Heisman Trophy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put this hand here. Okay, you might feel a pop in your lower back, okay? Okay, a little bit, okay. Otro lado, on the other side. Now, this is your long leg side. The long leg side up doesn't usually pop. It can sometimes. Yeah, see, it doesn't want to pop. Okay, now lay face up. Now, sometimes on a person's short leg side, and we think that your short leg side is your right side, you end up putting more weight. You shift your weight to the short leg side, and you can jam the ankle together. And usually we see this more in heavy people, but I'm going to give your ankle a tug and it might pop. We'll see. Okay, it didn't. Yeah, and like I say, usually it's on heavier people. Okay, now we got one more that we're going to do. We're going to sit you on up. Up we go. Put your feet that way. And scoot to the back of the seat toward me this way. How tall are you?
5'8", 5'9", something like that.
You want to be 5'10"?
Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Let's do it.
Okay, can you put your hands up in the air? Now, can you put your fingers behind your neck like that? Okay, that's the final position. But before, let's let go. Put your hands like this. And you have the right to remain silent. Okay. No, we're going to Indian wrestle. Okay. Now, are you ready?
Right.
Okay. Now, what we're going to have you do, we're going to have you breathe in and then breathe out, okay? So breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Now, I don't know if anything moved on you or not. Some people do like a zipper. And there's another way to move this if that didn't move in there. And what we can have you do, we'll try this one more thing here and see if we can move it a little better. I'm going to have you lay down this way, but instead of putting your face all the way down, you're going to slide back this way. And they tell kids in school if there's an earthquake, duck and cover. They get under their desk and they put their hands on inside their neck and they put their elbows together like this, put their head down. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to put your two elbows right there. Lay on your stomach. Put your hands alongside your neck. Okay, bring it back. No, just finger and nails back. There you go. And this will be a dress rehearsal. Okay, so we're going to find that one bone that's right in here. And you're going to breathe in. Go ahead and breathe in. You're going to let your air out all the way. Let your back go down. Then look up at the mirror in front of you. Look up, look up. There you go. That's going to be the ticket, okay? So head down. Head down. Go ahead, put your head down. Okay, breathe in with your head down. And breathe out with your head up. Woo! There we go. We got a half a dozen right there.
Oh.
All right. See, we had to go through all those others to get you loosened up enough. Okay, did you spit those bones out? All right, excellent. Good job. Now you're all tuned up. All right. Okay.
How you feeling?
Feels good.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna
Round two.
take sun here.
Face down first?
Face up.
Face up.
Let me change this here. I'll put this up. Alright. Now we're going to put a little lotion on here to feel where your muscles and bones, what they're doing here. And help relax the muscles.
Don't start crying, okay?
None of that.
Now, your neck is pretty good. You know, I might feel just a little bit right there. That's about the area of what they call C5. There's 7 bones in her neck. But it's, you know, it's not bad at all. I mean, you can feel it when you're pressing it, but
Yeah, I feel it.
Is he gonna make it or not?
oh, I think so. You know, you're gonna do just fine.
We just came for the crack.
What? Really? Well, you do advertising for all kinds of Really? All right. Well, that's marketing, I guess. Marketing 101.
I mean the bone crack.
Oh! I got it.
We have to specify.
Yes.
So we'll edit that out. No,
Mm.
I just want to say it.
Yeah, that could be anything, you know. That can be a bone popping or the crack in your butt or some white powder.
Yeah, some way.
Many different meanings.
And you know what? That's why we came back, because it was different than everybody else's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been through at least 5 different chiropractors,
I see.
and everyone is different.
That is true.
There's some that they waiting online. They just like let's go,
And that's
like
it, yeah.
like
Well,
not even 5 minutes, and you're
yeah,
out.
Look at that. That skeleton is moving by itself.
Yeah, I was stretching and I just
Oh, you hit it?
yeah, I hit it.
I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's time for me to leave. Okay.
So tell them that Pops is gonna, we gotta get it charged.
Yeah.
You broke it.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I tell people, I said, you know, even if 2 chiropractors are the same age, went to the same school at the same time, there's about 10 different techniques that they'll teach. And the chiropractor student will latch on to the one that makes the most sense to them. And then sometimes you have to learn several different techniques. Some people, they don't like to have their bones popped. And all they want is something that's mechanical because they're afraid of the popping.
Like a massage.
Yeah, and so you have to have different tools in your toolbox, you know, to...
Making happy.
Yeah, you know, to satisfy the different patients that come in. All right, let's go ahead and sit you on up. Just drop your head down that way. Look up, look down, back, look forward.
Oh my
All right.
God.
You heard that outside.
Yeah, I bet they did. Oh, man.
Excellent, very good. Okay, now you might want to set your glasses down somewhere because we're going to face down. I'm going to bring you on up here a little bit. I'm going to get you in the middle here. And like father, like son, here is just a little bit shorter on this side than that side. See the top of the shoe there? Not much, just a little bit. And you weren't very much either. You know, the only good thing about that is if you get lost in the desert, they find you making circles this way. No. All right, so we're going to put a little lotion on the lower back here now, just to kind of soften the muscles up a little bit. little feel. You know, the name of that lotion is Sombra. And I speak
Sombra?
Yeah, I speak a little Spanish, but I don't speak all Spanish. And then one of my ladies up front, she's gone home now, but I says, what does Sombra mean? And she goes, kind of like shade or shadow. And I kept thinking to myself, Sombra, sombrero. Oh, must be a shadow hat, you know? A shade hat.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Never thought of it that way, but you know, the words are the same.
It makes sense.
Makes sense.
And that's what it is. Shadow, the hat,
Shadow hat.
make a shadow, or
That's it.
at least save you from the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we take stuff for granted and we never actually like put attention to details like that. That's a good example of it.
Okay. Well, the guy didn't want to be like a gay caballero and hold an umbrella up all day, so he just made a hat like that.
You see?
Like watching my dad getting this done, like it looks like it doesn't feel much, but once you're like on here,
You can
like,
feel it.
yeah, you can definitely feel it.
All right. And you know, people that get an adjustment every once in a while, it helps them to maintain their posture as they get older. And like I say, gravity is always pushing us down. And of course, that's why mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, they get shorter as they get older, just because each disc loses a little bit of its height. And it's the total of all the discs losing their height to make them shorter, or it's their posture. If they start getting rounder in the back, or they have a curve that starts curving more, that decreases your height too. So getting your back adjusted every once in a while will maintain your height for longer in your life. Maintain your posture. And it's good for your nervous system. You know, I can guarantee you that if you see an old person that's all bent over and cannot straighten up and they're walking down the street, that not only do they have back pain problems, but also their organs inside are not as healthy, because those nerves are getting pinched and the brain can't communicate with the organs and coordinate the activity. All right, so we're gonna bring this up and then we're gonna take this down and we're gonna do with your pelvic bone here the same we did with your dad. This is gonna jump up. We're gonna get under this leg and lift it up and give a little push there. Now, in your case, it's like me when my father was alive. I had a short left leg, so did my father, so did my younger brother. So what created that, we have two bones here, ilium, in the middle we have the sacrum. We have ligaments and tendons that hold these bones in place. And just like we inherit our looks, sometimes we can inherit a weakness in the ligaments and tendons on one side. And that's how it will happen in the family. My younger brother, like I say, and me and my dad, we all had a functional short leg on the left. All right, a lot of times it's from a fall too. Some could fall on their butt real hard and stretch those ligaments and tendons out. Let's have you go onto your side and face me this way. And bend this one arm up. Okay. Put your head in the center. Squeeze.
Oh,
wow.
double.
That's a lot.
Double whammy.
Just don't walk out of here ass backwards. That's not good advertising. You walk out ass backwards. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Good. Now lay face up on your back.
Oh.
You want to check
So
your ankle.
what's wrong with me then? Because I never crack and my lower back.
See, you've had gravity on your spine longer, and so each vertebra has two joints in the back like this, and yours are a little bit closer together, a little bit more. You can have a little bit of arthritis in there, and it's just like, you know, when you were 7 years old, you can go up to the top of a hill and do these somersaults all the way down, and you get to the bottom, you run up, you do it again. If I did that, they'd have to have the ambulance at the bottom ready to pick me up, you know, because my bones aren't limber anymore. You know? All right, let's sit you on up here and then scoot to the back of the seat toward me this way. And, yeah, that was a little hard. Okay, fingers locked together.
Locked.
Good. Okay, respira.
Yo, that's a good
All
answer.
right, now you're taller and straighter. Good job.
Feel good.
Yeah, good. Get you limbered up.
So would you recommend, like, for his situation with the back, since, you know, being that he gets most of his pain from his lower back, and we can't really do since he's already been for a long time with the pressure, it appears that we can't do adjustments. What would you recommend? Like, keep on coming to the treatment and eventually it'll happen?
You know, of course, you know, exercise is important, and you know, I don't know if you guys belong to a gym or anything like that.
No.
Yeah. You know, they have this thing at the gym called a Roman chair, where it's like a saddle, and you hook your feet into it and you lay face down and you do backups like this, and that's very good for the back. Of course, even, you know, toe tappers, where you put your feet out, you come down here, you come up, put your fist in your back, you go back, you go down the other way, come up, put your fist in your back and go back. Kind of like calisthenics exercises are good. Now, both of you guys, the short leg is just barely short, but sometimes what can help, you know, if you go to like Walmart where they have the Dr. Scholl's inserts, they make these things for people who have painful heels. They're half round and they come in pairs.
Yeah.
And they're little gummy, soft stuff. And you just take one and put that on the short leg side or on the right side. You know you got it in the right shoe if you got it in the right shoe. Okay. And it'll squish down to about 1/8 of an inch, which is about how much you're short. And so that when you're walking instead of walking like this, you're walking balanced.
Right.
And that can help a lot. But other than chiropractic care, you know, exercising, taking like a closet pole and, you know, doing your side bends this way with your feet together, and after you do about 12 that way, put your feet apart and do the rotations.
Okay.
And do 12 that way, and then feet together, 12 this way, you know, just to get movement into that spine. Everything has life, has motion.
You think with that type of exercise, the spine will loosen up enough that he can get adjusted?
Well, yeah, and that is true too, because we tend to be fibrotic and our muscles tend to shorten. And so they tend to hold things into place. You know, I'm sure that if I did an exam on both of you, that maybe you could reach down further than he can toward the floor, because, you know, you just haven't had the gravity on your back as long. But you know, it can catch up to you too, unless you do those exercises and periodically, you know, get an adjustment.
So that's right, guys. Make sure to do your stretches, you know, before any exercise, any sport, anything like that. It'll benefit you on the long run. So, you know.
Well, even, you know how I do the side-to-side thing and pop your back that way?
Yeah.
Sometimes in bed, what you can do, you can roll your knees one way, put your hands the other way, and bounce. Like 1, 2, 3, roll your knees the other way, 1, 2, 3. Because we just don't do those movements naturally.
Now, I heard a lot of things about self-adjusting and stuff like that.
Oh, I see people going.
That's not good.
Well, it probably, sometimes they can loosen the ligaments and tendons a little bit too much, and it'll always pop at the same level, in the middle of the neck. If they have one out of place up here, they can't get that one.
Right.
because they're just using their head as a lever. They're not putting their hand on the bone and guiding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to keep going. I think there's
Yeah, sounds good,
a fellow
sounds good.
waiting out there.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much.
Well, your point.